But yeah, we're going to be talking about this because we're going to take a look at the budget for Ironheart according to Google. So this is just the AI overview on Google. I'm not going to go into too much detail, like fish out articles for stuff that I'm not really interested in. But I just thought you guys might want to see. So we're going to switch over. So yeah, this is the first one, right? So Ironheart, the series budget between 100 and 150 million dollars. Now I'm assuming that it's actually going to be more than that because we do have a lot of them. But bear in mind, it's 100 to 150 million for 6 episodes. 6 episodes of a show that they knew people wouldn't accept very much. Oh well, wouldn't be willing to accept graciously. Let's just put it that way, because it was not a particularly good story, and the concept itself, interesting concept, just poorly written as usual for what we get from Disney owned stuff. Uh, but now we've seen that, so it's 100 to 150 million. It's going to be more. Hey, modest traveler, how you doing, buddy? And I think I said hello, David, when I was muted. But yeah, so hopefully it's all sorted. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the ratings. I'm going to go switch between IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes here because I think it's pretty important. So IMDb, the rating is for Ironheart 4.2. 4.2. So it hasn't moved since yesterday with 44,000 people rating it. That's not good. That's not a good sign, right? Now I don't. If you've followed my channel, you would probably know that I don't really like. I don't really like the rating system the way it is because a lot of the time for a good show, there are not enough people actually rating them, so the ratings end up being lower than they should be for a good show or a good movie. But when it's a bad one, then people love to bitch about it. Um, but yeah, so a 4.2 out of 10 rating. Um, I haven't rated it because I don't rate things like that because it's just an impossible thing to go into. But when you look at the breakdown, 16.5% gave it a 10. 47.6% gave it a 1. It's incredible. They should have made season 2 of Skeleton Crew. Exactly. I'm actually going to be talking about Skeleton Crew soon as well because it's part of the comparison. Because it's my opinion that Skeleton Crew did not get the following it deserved. I think Skeleton Crew was probably one of the better Star Wars shows that we've had out of Disney. But we're going to be comparing that as well. I'm going to be showing the ratings and stuff for that as well, including the budget. But we're going to move on to the Rotten Tomatoes. So Rotten Tomatoes have put it at an 82% with a popcorn meter of 50. Now here's the thing about Rotten Tomatoes. Whenever it's something to do with Disney, hey the Stanleys, how you doing? The thing about Rotten Tomatoes is they like to shill when it comes to a lot of Disney stuff, especially if it's a terrible thing. So when you got this, like saying 82% tomato meter and then 50% popcorn meter, can we still see the audience score? The popcorn meter is the audience score. I'm being an idiot, I'm pretty sure. But it's just interesting to see, what Rotten Tomatoes says because obviously they get paid. They get paid to put it. I mean, because you got 103 reviews saying that it's at 82%, and then you got over 5,000 ratings putting it at 50. It doesn't make any sense. Not in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And anything I say in my videos or live streams, it is my opinion, and these are my thoughts. These are based on um, my own feelings of it. So yeah, so we're going to look at. So when we see the budget at 100 to 150 million for Ironheart, I just think it seems low for one that's based heavily on CGI. Um, it just doesn't make sense, especially when you look at, here we go, the Acolyte, for instance, $230.1 million, and we know how bad that was. That was an absolutely terrible show. I reviewed as much of it as I could, but yeah, they're just throwing money at bad shit. Um, but the thing about Acolyte is there's nothing that shows where it went other than the CGI and the cast. There's no, it didn't, obviously the money did not go towards writing because it was terrible. Uh, but when we look at the ratings for that on IMDb, it's 4.2. And it's very similar at 42.2%, give it a 1 star. It's very similar to Ironheart, isn't it? 47.6. It's very close considering. Especially when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, which shows us that is 79% tomato meter and 19% popcorn meter. So the acting was bad, and it was terrible. It was absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. I mean, they should never have made that show. They should never have released it like that, especially when you think that there were some movies for Marvel, I think, and some of the Star Wars movies did actually have some good scenes, but then when they took it back to reshoot, they ended up changing the scenes that were good, and they just ended up being terrible. Um, but I'm not even going to mention um, uh, anything else other than the Disney stuff in this section of the stream. But yeah, we're going to move to another one which was bad, but a little bit better. Um, Ms. Marvel, a little bit better. I mean, I can't remember the girl's name now for some reason. Her real name, her real name. She's actually, to me, she seems like a very good actor anyway. But it's 150 million. They didn't say between 100 and 150 million. It says 150 million. So they're clear on that. And this one actually compares it to She-Hulk, which had 225 million. But if I remember correctly, they actually had more than that. Um, but I mean, I can't be sure. I can't be sure. I haven't even heard of this show. Well, which show's that? The the Acolyte or Ms. Marvel? Which show? Um, was it Brie Larson? Ms. Marvel? No, that was Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel was the TV series where there was a character who had a thing for Captain Marvel, and she just took the name, basically appropriated the name, as they say. But yeah, we'll see that 150 million for Ms. Marvel, and then the IMDb ratings 6.2. The Ms. Marvel show was exactly the Ms. Marvel show was okay. Actually, didn't mind the Marvels movie. The Marvels is one of those ones that actually went for reshoots, and I think actually ended up being worse than the original cuts. But the Marvels actually, I hate how they portrayed um, Nick Fury. I hate how they portrayed Fury in that. Um, if it wasn't for that, it would have been a hell of a lot better, in my opinion. This is my opinion. My opinion. Um, you'll watch it for sure. Uh, Now, Miss Marvel, they don't advertise this stuff properly. Um, well, I think they do, but they just don't advertise it in the way that we view it. I mean, we see stuff. I mean, they still put things on billboards and stuff like that. But I think Ms. Marvel, there was a lack of work, global advertising. Let's put it that way. Disney Lucasfilm needs to keep a tighter grip on the purse strings. Yeah, exactly. The problem is they use so much. No, let's get rid of this for a second. They use such a large part of their budget on on the CGI specifically. Iman Vellani. There we go. I think she's actually a very. I think she has potential to be a really really good actor when she's as she grows. Um, let me know. What do you think? Do you think she was good? She's a good actor. Oh, I think she's a good actor or actress. I prefer to say actress. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of a delay. I don't know what's causing it. There's a little bit of lag between on the video. There's no reason for it, so there's nothing I can do about that. Um, but as you're saying, the CGI budget is so high that the CGI companies they do not have to put as much attention into the quality of the CGI because they're getting so much work. So back in the day, there were so few people, so few companies doing the CGI, they had to compete with each other. So they would actually ask for less money for better quality work. The problem is the supply and demand has changed, whereas there's so much supply towards the demand. So the supply, the ability to supply the CGI has overwhelmed the demand for the CGI. If that makes any sense, I don't know if that makes any sense. Take Lucasfilm for instance. Before Disney bought it, they had Disney Arts. Disney Arts used to do some of the CGI for Star Wars, didn't they? So, I mean, Star Wars they basically invented modern techniques along with others. So we have to thank Star Wars and Star Trek and other shows and franchises. Never heard of it. No, exactly. but it's just one of those things. It's one of those things. But I do think that the budget is so high because of the CGI that the companies just don't care about the quality that they create for it. Because they end up signing a contract, especially with one that works with Disney. I think they sign a contract which guarantees like Marvel will go to them and any other Disney IP will go to them for the CGI. That's what I think as well. That's what I think. I think it's like they've monopolized the CGI in such a way. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was looking at these ratings the other day. I was gonna go live yesterday with this, but I thought, I'll wait until tomorrow because I had a knock on the door yesterday and it kind of messed up my schedule. But yeah, that's what I think. But let's go back to comparing these because when you look at Miss Marvel, whatever, Miss Marvel at 6.2 rating, I think it deserved it, but I still think it's a little bit high for the show because it wasn't brilliant, it wasn't outstanding enough to be above 5 for me. But I have a different rating system. This is why I don't like these types of thing. But it's interesting to compare them, especially when you bring Miss Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes at 98% tomato meter, 80% on the popcorn meter. It shows how different these numbers are. Because if I go back to the Acolyte, the tomato meter is always always at a high level for comparison because they've bought it. They've bought it out. See, 79. Miss Marvel 98. I mean, there are several of those that would be actually acceptable. They would be believable to be right. But when you bring in something like Skeleton Crew, now with Skeleton Crew, I don't think she's done anything outside of Marvel. I don't think she has. At least not yet. But you got to wonder, what contract does she have? Because I know Disney, they like to have cast members sign a contract to say they have to be in a certain amount of their stuff, like a certain amount of movies, a certain amount of hours in a show, even if it's not directly related. I'll have a look at that in a little while because it'll be good to see. So let's have a look now, actually. So let's get Ms. Marvel back. Right, let's have a look. Iman Vellani. Right, let's have a look. Animal Farm. She was a voice in Animal Farm. She was in the Marvels. A video of Avengers Quantum Encounter and Ms. Marvel. So what she's got 5 things upcoming. Upcoming, she has Mouse, Shiva, Champions, Avengers Secret Wars. So we're going to have Ms. Marvel in Secret Wars. Rumored, and in Marvel Zombies. Oh, great! There's going to be some more zombies coming out. Great fun, great fun, absolutely marvelous. Interesting. Huh. Interesting how the ratings thing has disappeared. That's surprising. Ah, I know why. I know why. Let's go back. There we go. Because it was her, not the show. There we go. Let's bring that back up just for future reference. All right, so let's move on to Skeleton Crew. I mean, if you look at the comparisons, Skeleton Crew was said to have had a budget of around 136 million. 136 million. That's the reported budget. It's going to be higher than that. I mean, it's going to be high. It's going to be high. With an average estimate of 17 million per episode. But that's the thing, see, it's got pretty much a lower budget, but it was a better show. It was better written, better acted, and well received in comparison to these other shows. And it shows in the rating system that IMDb has it at 7.1. 7.1, in my opinion, especially for IMDb ratings, is an outstanding one. I mean, nothing good is under 7 normally. But obviously, Ms. Marvel, 6.2. But it still had bad writing. So, I mean, Skeleton Crew, I thought Skeleton Crew was a pretty good Star Wars universe show. And it deserved a hell of a lot better than it got. I mean, you look at these numbers. How many gave it a 1 star? 3.8%, 1 star, 1.4, 2 stars, 6 stars, 12.6%, 7 stars, 26.8. I mean, look at the numbers don't really lie, do they? Not for IMDb, apparently. I've actually got a friend. Right, I've actually got a friend who will not watch something unless it's over 7.5% on IMDb. I keep saying to him, he's missing out on a bunch of stuff because there's a lot of stuff that are above 5%, which is actually really good. It's just, people haven't given it the attention it deserves. I mean, if something's terrible, people will come out of the cinema, come out of the theater, step away from their TV, and they will write terrible things about it. They'll come out and they'll say it's a really bad movie, it was a really bad show. But if it's good, they don't tend to really do that. So when we come to the Skeleton Crew, it's at 92% tomato and 79% popcorn, which I'm sure you should be able to still see the audience score. I mean, that used to be the audience score. I don't know if it still does. All audience. Wow. I mean, yes, I know it says it's fresh, but a lot of the time, because it's owned by Disney, they pay for the high percentage for the tomato meter. They don't want it to be rotten, so they pay to not have it rotten, which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous idea, especially if I showed you what I'm looking at, because you've got the 7.1%. There's the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Even if sometimes they're fudged, they're not like these are not lying numbers when you compare it to the Miss Marvel, right? And then the Acolyte, Ironheart. It's just I think the numbers show it. The numbers show how that they keep doing it. They keep doing the same thing, and it's the same. I bet it's the same people giving it the higher numbers because they're paid to do it. What did Mandalorian get? Mandalorian. Interesting. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay. So that's an 8.6. But I think that's the entire show. The entire show got 8.6. And when you look at these numbers, let's go on Rotten Tomatoes, Mandalorian. Doesn't come up unless you put the L. Interesting. 90 point thing. Is that the show? Is that the over the entire show? I think that's the entire show. Yeah. So an IMDb. I mean, 8.6. I mean, that says something, doesn't it? For IMDb. I mean, I liked Mandalorian up until the final the season 3. Is it season 3? Yeah, season 3 was terrible. No, it's had a lot of seasons. Yes, exactly. But I mean, 8.6. That's built up over the years that we've had it. Whereas Skeleton Crew had only had one season, so it's ridiculous. Hmm. Yes, it has. Which is a shame. I think there's a problem with, especially when it comes to Skeleton Crew. Get back to Skeleton Crew. Um, there were people coming out and they were saying that they were criticizing Skeleton Crew long before it was released. Long before it was released, as soon as it was announced, people were like, "Oh, it's going to be another one of those shows." And then Acolyte came out, and it's like, "Oh, Skeleton Crew is going to be terrible." Blah blah blah. There was a tax issue with Skeleton Crew when it was filmed in the UK. They filed the wrong paperwork, and that actually caused them to delay release. Oh no, wait, was that? I think yeah, that was Skeleton Crew because I think Skeleton Crew was supposed to come out before the Acolyte originally, but with the tax problem that they had in the UK where they filed the wrong paperwork, the British government took over and said, "Look, either you sort it out, or we will not release the rights to it because obviously they have to pay the taxes in the UK to get it back. I mean, they get a huge percentage back." So I'm wondering if they fudged the paperwork to try and steal money from the British taxpayers. Although it's not technically the taxpayers, they pay the tax and then they get the rebate. So it's their own money that's gone towards it. So they just get a certain amount back from what they've already spent. So it's not like the British government is literally just giving them, our money because we pay the taxes. Did you hear Skeleton? They might be a Skeleton Crew movie. It's possible. I mean, if I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but back a few years back, I think they were saying that they want all the shows. That's Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka. They were all supposed to accumulate into one movie, a final movie. And I think the original plan was to have them all join forces to face off against um, Admiral Thrawn, Thrawn, to say it right. The Grand Admiral Thrawn. But that's what I think. That's what they originally planned to do. Because I think that's what also they were going to make that TV series uh, Rogue Squadron, weren't they? Where they were going to have the Rogue Squadron with Reg Antilles. I think that was supposed to lead into it as well. Yeah, the Mandoverse. Yeah, exactly, Sammy's the Mandoverse. Precisely, absolutely. Um, which I think would have been strange because I reckon that movie would have ended up with an ending where it would actually lead the Imperial Remnant to become the First Order, just to lead into the sequels. Speaking of the sequels, I mean, a lot of people speak out saying that Daisy Ridley was terrible in Star Wars. But I mean, I don't blame Daisy Ridley. I've never blamed Daisy Ridley. I mean, she's just doing what they want her to do, right? I mean, the drawback is that she chose to accept a role in a franchise that can be unforgiving if it gets screwed up. Was it going to be Admiral Thrawn and the Space Whales? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I certainly wouldn't be surprised at all. But I mean, it's like we're gonna get Ahsoka season 2, right? I think that's still in the cards. I'll do a quick search actually and see if it is. I'm pretty sure that Ahsoka season 2 is still in the works. People are asking questions. You know how the asking questions part, it says someone has asked, is Natalie Portman going to in Ahsoka season 2? Well, technically, I mean, yes, she can be, but she wouldn't be Amidala, would she? She certainly wouldn't be Padme, because Padme's already dead. Anyway, Ahsoka season 2. It does look like it. I'm just looking for a confirmation myself. I mean, Ahsoka was a better show as well. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're getting season 2 next year, so I'm pretty much confirmed that. Probably late next year. I don't think it'll be early. Why do you say that? It could be late spring. I don't know when they plan to release it. Do a search actually. Let's see if they got if anyone's got any idea of when. In the fall, so yeah, it'll be late next year. It'll be late next year, but yeah. So interesting. And you can support us via Streamlabs or check out the merch in the store. But yeah, please do at least do the minimum, which is the like and subscribe. It seriously helps us out. I'm on the road to 250. So yeah, help us out with that. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching David B, Stanley's, Steve Toik, that old Yorkshire geek, and who else we had? We've had, said the Stanleys, Patchouli, Gillian Nunnian von Romulus. I hope I've said that right. Who was Edward Teach? Thanks for popping in. Is there anyone else I haven't mentioned? I think there was one. I think he was in and out. Where are you? Will I be able to find you? Modest, thank you for staying with us. I can't find you. Oh well. Well, until next time, guys, stay safe, take care, and may the Schwartz be with you always.
West. React with all your insight. Review what feels so right. Criticize the light. Movie shining bright. My opinion is mine. Like a never-ending call. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is a right. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands